I don't think you saw him look. All right, court is calling 2023 CR 10391, State of Texas versus Ismail Nanes. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Your hand, Your Honor.
Defense.
Greg Desmarais.
And are you Mr. Nanes? Am I pronouncing your last name?
Yes, you are.
Okay, thank you. Counsel, have you received all the discovery? Did you review it with your client?
I did, Judge.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Nanes, I'm showing you what's entitled Application for Community Supervision. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it?
I did.
Going to show you what's entitled True Bill of Indictment. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
I did.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
We do, Judge.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
We are.
Mr. Nanes, I'm showing you what's entitled Court Admonishments. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
I did.
Did you understand you're charged with credit or debit card abuse as a state jail felony? Range of punishment is anywhere from 180 days up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine.
I am.
If you have a plea with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
I do.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent?
I do.
Did you understand by entering this plea, you were giving up those rights?
I do.
Did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
I do. Yes.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
He has, Judge.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
I believe he
Do you
does.
believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Nanes, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter the plea?
No.
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
I am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
I am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
I did.
According to the plea, punishment is to be assessed at 2 years in the state jail facility. There's a $2,000 fine. There's no application for deferred adjudication. The state recommends community supervision. There's to be restitution of $254.26 to Linda Ann Guevara, Guevara. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, I did.
Defense,
Yes, Judge.
state?
Yes, Your Honor.
I can't roll the R's. I'm from Louisiana. We don't do that. Showing you the paragraph entitled Waiver of Appeal paragraph. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, are there any such motions?
No, Judge.
Next, I'm showing you outside the agreement. State is requesting that your community supervision be for a term of 5 years. There'll be a TAP evaluation, 180 hours community service restitution, and no contact with Linda Ann Guevara. Did you understand those were recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations? Then to the offenses charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State, any evidence?
Yes, Your Honor. State Exhibit number 1 with all its attachments.
Any objections?
No objections, Your
All
Honor.
right, state, you may continue to confer. It's going to show you what's entitled Waiver and Consent to Stipulation of Testimony and Stipulations. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that today the state would be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty and the court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Judge. Waive the PSI.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Your Honor, we just ask that you follow the plea agreement. He understands what he needs to do and just will not be back here again.
All right, how old are you?
30.
30?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you currently employed?
Yes, ma'am.
Where?
With Metro by T-Mobile.
Do you have any children?
Yes, ma'am.
How many?
3.
Ages?
9, 5, and 6 months.
All right, this person's credit card you used, I'm assuming you're not in a relationship other than she came in to buy something for Metro. So I want you to help me figure out what your thought process was, because she comes in, buys merchandise with her credit card for Metro. She leaves, I'm assuming with her merchandise, correct?
Correct.
And then you order pizza from Pizza Hut using her credit card. And then you have it delivered to your work. And then you eat the pizza. Like, why would you do that?
No answer for you, Your Honor.
Well, I mean, there has to be a reason. Did you not have money for pizza? Did you think she would never notice the Pizza Hut charge on her card? So you didn't think she would notice it?
Yes, sir.
So what, is this the first time you've done this? And I'm going to withdraw that question because I know there are
Thank you, Judge.
issues related to that if he has. And so Metro Services knows about this
Yes, sir.
and they're still letting you take money and credit cards?
We have close supervision on this.
Okay, I don't understand a company allowing you to remain when you abuse the trust, because that's a fiduciary duty. We learned that from law school, right?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm no longer on the sales floor.
Okay. So do people at work look at you differently?
Yes, sir.
And what size pizza was it? Was it a large, medium, small? Did you share it? Okay, because they say they have you on video consuming it. I'm just wondering if you shared it with your coworkers.
Don't remember, this was long ago.
Oh. See, and the reason why I ask these questions, you don't remember any of this, but now you have a felony case behind a pizza. And that pizza, if it's Pizza Hut, I think they have coupons. If you use the coupon, if it's one of the individual, what is that, $5 or something? Well, obviously it's more than that because she says she's owed $254.26. What else did you use it on?
I think there's some other things in the restitution.
Yeah, there was if you, in the steps, there was a Pizza Hut that was named in the report, but there was additional items, another pizza place, and then also HEB.
All right, HEB and 2 pizza places.
I believe it's towards the back of the steps that had some receipts.
Ah, yes, I see the receipts. $178.77 at HEB. So do you usually go to the HEB at Las Palmas? Is that your HEB, Las Palmas?
No,
What is your HEB?
Babcock, that's where I live.
The Babcock HEB?
Yes,
Is that what is closest to your home?
yes.
So you just went to the Las Palmas on Castroville because,
I worked there, that's where I was working.
The Metro P.
It was inside the HEB.
okay. All right, this is what the court is going to do. Court is finding you guilty, going to sentence you to 2 years in the state jail facility, suspended and probated for 5 years. There's a $2,000 fine. That will be probated. There's to be restitution to Linda and Guevara in the amount of $254.26. There's to be no contact with Linda and Guevara. $180 hours of community service restitution. I'm going to order parenting classes. Once you complete those, the community service restitution will be deemed to be satisfied. Reason why I'm ordering parenting classes, because you should know better. And your children are looking up to you, and you have 3 young children, and you could be spending 2 years at the state jail facility. There's to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person. If you're drug tested today, what are the results going to be?
Dirty.
I'm sorry?
Dirty,
What are you going to be dirty
No
for?
one.
What else?
that's it.
All right, so you have a 6-month-old, 5 and 9-year-old. I guarantee you, when you come home, they smell marijuana, even if you say you're just doing it out the house, outside the house in the backyard or somewhere else. Because I don't smoke, I don't drink. And when people around me have had alcohol, it's almost enough to knock me out. And when people smoke cigarettes, my allergies start messing up. And then marijuana is just out of the question. So I'm sure your children, if they go to school, their clothes smell like marijuana because marijuana has a strong stench to it. So we're gonna do UAs, and I'm gonna want him tested for levels.
Yes, ma'am.
Those levels had better start going down. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Gonna do field visits one time per month for 3 months. Is Child Protective Services involved or no?
No.
All right, so that'll be for 3 months probation, and then as you deem fit, there is going to be proof of employment within 30 days, no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. There's to be no contact with Pizza Hut. And there's to be no contact with the HEB on Babcock for 4 months. Probation, is there anything else he needs? All right, and let me just tell you why I'm putting down no contact with Pizza Hut. Because that's a punishment. That's not even about rehabilitation, that's a punishment for you. The reason why I'm putting down no contact with the HEB on Babcock for 4 months, because that's your HEB in your neighborhood. And the fact that you used her credit card, there is a lot she had to go through. Got to change a credit card. I've been there before, and I know other people have been there before, where maybe you lose your credit card and you got to change it. Then you got to constantly keep checking it to make sure no other charges are on there that you missed. So you need some inconvenience in your life. The 4 months of not shopping at the HEB in your neighborhood, that's not a lot because there's usually an HEB on every corner. But you need to understand and internalize what you've done. You understand? All right. Is there anything else that you need from the court
No, Your Honor.
to be successful? All right. Showing you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. You understand?
Sure.
All right, we can go off the record. This is what I've learned in my lifetime. The easy route is never the best route. And what may seem simple, oh, I'm just going to do this. No. And the other thing, you cannot build your happiness off somebody else's misery. So you made her life miserable for that point in time. And now you may say it's miserable, but you're going to have some miserableness in your life for 5 years. You understand? All right. Good luck to you. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.